Hi, guys, and welcome to the Wise Woman podcast. It's amazing to be back with you as always. And today, guys, we have a guest. We have a guest. It's not just a teaching podcast. Today. I'm super excited because I've got my personal friend, and she's going to be an absolute blessing to you. We're still working on the series of purpose, how people are living out their purposes, what we're doing with our time and with our life. And this series is about inspiring you to use your time wisely, to just add value to yourself. Today's topic, we're talking about building wealth through real estate. I have an absolute wonderful woman of God coming on. She's an expert. You can connect with her after that. If it's something you're interested in, you can connect with me, you can connect with her after. This is all about giving you as much information as you need to help you start your wealth building journey. It doesn't matter how old you are. You may have started early, you may have started late. Today, we're specifically looking at real estate and how you can kind of use that as a catalyst to kind of start your wealth building journey. There's so many ways people are investing in stocks markets and shares and so many different things. And I have an expert that's going to come and talk about other financial ways in which you can start building wealth. But today we're very specific about real estate. So before we get into today's conversation, do me a favor, help me share this. Remember, the Wise Women podcast is not just for women. Men can join also. It's just about gaining wisdom, knowledge, and understand how we can better live our life and everything that God wants us to do. So share this with your mom, your dad, your uncles, your aunties, your enemies. Yes, they need money as well. Share this with everyone you know. It's going to be an absolute blessing. If you're not subscribing to our YouTube channel, please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Follow us across all our platforms to keep updated with all our topics and all our teachings and everything we bring you. My prayer is that you get wisdom. Wisdom's the principal thing, and in all you're getting, get understanding. I'm going to invite my personal friend, guys. If I lose composure, this is my sister, so I'm going to try and be as composed as possible. But let me bring her on as we get into today's topic. Yeah, Missy.
I hope we are going to be able to keep this straight.
No, babe, we have to be serious, but we're being a blessing to people. Okay, so let's be serious. In fact, let me even pray. Father God, we thank you for today's podcast. Lord, I thank you for your wisdom. I thank you for your mercy. I thank you for what you're doing in her life. And she's going to be an absolute blessing to our viewers today. And we're just so excited about the wisdom you're going to share on this platform. In Jesus' name. Amen. Sweetie, how you
Amen.
doing? So good
I'm
to finally
fine.
get you on the podcast.
I'm doing so well.
I think we're counting almost 20 years of friendship now, or
Oh
how?
yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
Let me just take my water.
Time actually just goes by, and we don't know how long everything is just going. And you're like, how did we get here?
How are we in May 2026? It's the fifth month of the year, and I'm like, God, do again.
Right,
The year is
right.
flying. It's been insane. So
Yes,
you haven't always been this. When it comes to real estate, you're the only person I trust. You're the only person I know in
oh,
Nigeria, and I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of the business
thank you
you're
so
doing.
much.
I'm proud of everything you're doing. I really
Thanks.
want you to help, especially the women. I find a lot of women are not really educated about investment, about how they can kind of put their money to work. And in this day and age, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, AI is now shifting the way people work. Anyone that's a professional working in corporate, things are changing very quickly,
Yeah.
especially in my side of the country. But before we get deep down, introduce yourself, let the guys know who you are, tell them about anything you want them to know that matters to you that you'd like to share. Guys, you can
Okay.
sing,
Okay.
bro.
Nothing so much. My name
Yeah.
is Yemi Ashaolu Aribe. I'm a real estate consultant in Lagos, Nigeria. Of course, we do real estate in other states, but my focus is on Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm also married with two children, Brian and Jessica. And what else? I'm a music minister, if I could say so myself, even though I'm not
Yeah.
practicing. But yes, I'm a music minister, and that's it. I'm an entrepreneur. I have other businesses that you don't even know
Listen.
about this, but yeah, I have some other businesses on the
Which
ground.
other one? This is the only business I know.
You don't know
I
about the
think you do
parfait
you do
business.
parfait. Yes, I do. You do parfait. You
Yeah,
do.
okay,
Remember you
okay.
gave me when I came to Nigeria last time,
Oh
and
yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
absolutely.
true. That's
How's that going? And how's that taking off? How's
Oh,
that
that's
coming?
good. At least this year, this month, no, last month we took it more seriously. I had to
Fantastic.
employ I had to employ an operations person because I realized that real estate is kind of jealous. It needs me
Mm,
there. I have to be present. But this other
okay.
one, I just need to shoot content here and there and then leave it in the hands of others to continue. You understand? So,
Yes,
but yeah, last year we started doing it very well as a business. The other times when I get overwhelmed, I just leave it and then
yes, yes,
move on with it. But now I can't be overwhelmed because I have people that I'm paying that are
yes,
telling me, Ma, we need
yeah,
to do this. Ma, we need to do that. So, yeah.
which
So
is good.
basically,
And
that's all about me.
I love that because it's a multiple, you have multiple streams of income,
Oh,
right? And
yes.
this is all part of, and I say to people, there's wealth building and then there's cash flow. And
Cash.
wealth building is more of your long-term investment, things that will
Yeah.
yield for you in time. And cash flow is how you're making money here and now. It can also
Yeah.
be part of wealth building, but the cash flow is how is money getting into your hands, your
Yes.
day-to-day living, the business that you do, your job can be your cash flow. And I love that because it's a multiple source of income, right?
Yeah.
So if one side of business is quiet, another side can kind of pick up, and it's all entangled. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit, how did you get into real estate? How did you kind of stumble into real estate? What was the journey like for you?
I didn't get the question. You said, how did I what?
How did you get into real estate?
Oh, okay. I got into a friend of mine introduced me to real estate. Before then, I was into makeup, right?
Oh
I was
yes,
into
professional
makeup
maker. Oh
before.
girl,
Yes.
all my pictures you've seen, she's the one that all my pictures.
Actually,
All of my
actually,
promo pictures. It's your hand. It's your makeup.
yes, actually, that's true.
Yes.
So I
Okay.
was I was into I was into makeup. Then after a while, I think sometime in 2016, 17 or 18, a friend of mine, Essay, introduced me to real estate. So I entered into the real estate business maybe in 2018. But I didn't really start taking it seriously until I made my first sale in September of that same year. So right now, that's the day I use as my. Oh, okay. I made the sale in December, but from September 2015, I started going for trainings, trying to take it more seriously.
Wow.
And yeah, so that's how I just got into real estate. I got into it by referral. Somebody just told me about it. At first, I didn't see the need, but after a while, once I started paying attention, seeing that, okay, people are actually making sales, because that was the first time I was hearing people pay millions for something. I'm like, eh? Hey God,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, but that's just
Yes.
how I got into it, and I got into the business and started learning on the job. You understand?
Mm,
That's
yes.
just more like a
I
stumble
love
into
that
it.
because yeah, God ordered your steps, and He
Actually,
knew for such a time as this that
ac-
He
yes.
wanted you to be. Yeah,
And
He wanted. The
right
thing
now
is,
in
when God wants to
September,
bless us, sometimes
right now in September will be 8 years, and I'm wondering how
go
did
on,
it
darling.
now 8 years? You know,
Wow. Tell us a bit about your company and the services that you're currently offering.
okay. The name of my company is Shelter
Tell us
Link
a
Two
bit
Four.
about your service, your company, and some of the service that you're currently offering people. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So the name of my company is Shelter Link 247 Realty, and just by the name already, you know that what we are doing basically is to link you to your next real estate investment. And also one of the things that we specialize in is we help people make return on investment, either short term or long term,
Mm.
because we understand that we do different things. We do housing, we sell land. We also
Talk us
have
through
some
that.
real
So,
estate, we also have some real estate
nice.
investment that doesn't necessarily mean you buying property and keeping. You can buy, hold for a bit,
Mm.
and flip it and make money. So that's what we do
Listen,
basically.
I'm getting excited. So we do purchasing of houses. You can buy the land, and you can also invest in real estate. So put your money in, grow your money, and take your money back out. So just as an
Exactly.
investment to do that. So talk us through in terms of let's talk through each one. So if somebody wants to buy, So say someone who lives outside of Nigeria, you specialize in Nigeria and Africa, right? So someone who wants to buy a property primarily, before we get into that, let's talk about the Nigerian real estate market, right? Because Nigeria is the only place I know that within a year, your money can double. I mean, there are other places where maybe you get a 10% increase, 15%. In Nigeria, you can double your money in as little as 2 to 3 years. It's unheard of.
Okay,
Outside,
so
maybe you get a 10%, 20%. Let's talk about the Nigerian real estate market. Let's talk about Nigeria as a market. What's happening to land, to buildings, to businesses, to real estate? Why is Nigeria so hot as an investment place right now?
so I think it's just the demand. You know,
Hmm.
I feel, and I think it's everywhere in every business. Once there's demand, and once there's demand for something, there'll always be people, like there will always be cash flowing in that way.
Hmm.
So you see, let me give you a quick story. I can't remember the year now, but about there was a time ago we launched an estate, and the estate was selling at that time at 7 million naira. 4 years after, the same mouth I used in marketing that property for 7 million naira, before the property got sold out, I marketed that same property at 95 million naira before it closed out on sale. Now, can you just imagine
Say that
that?
again, that last bit. The same mouth you used.
Okay,
Say that one more time. The same mouth you used for
in
7 million naira.
marketing the property at 7 million. I used that same mouth in marketing that property at 95 million before it sold out.
What?
So there were, yes.
Within
So
4 years?
yes. So it launched at 7 million, went up to about 15 million, went up to 25 million. It kept going up like that until after 4 years, at the time we
My
sold out
God.
on that property, it was selling at 95 million naira. As if that was not enough, it wasn't just sitting there. Now,
My
when we
God.
launched it, it was just bare land. But at the time it was selling out at 95 million, that we had houses all around the estate already. People had
Okay.
bought, the developer
So
had
when it was
built
off
houses.
plan,
Yeah. So you see, with real estate,
when it was
right?
off plan, it was a lot cheaper. Yeah.
Of course, with real estate, what I found out is a lot of people are complaining about it being overpriced in Nigeria. But that's because they are not inside, you know, because maybe you probably didn't buy
Mm.
at the time you were supposed to buy. So when you are hearing people yielding, people that decided to take the risk per se, like that, you can call it a risk. People that now decide to take the
Mhm.
risk, and then you are hearing, oh, it's too expensive. Okay, what is the value? But why not save yourself that stress of complaining later and get yourself inside first? Because you are seeing this happen over the
Mm.
years. In my 8 years of doing real estate, even if somebody comes to you and says they are selling their property at distressed price, if you finally get to see the cost of how much they bought that property, you will know that the distress is not based off of where the price they bought it. It's based off the price at the time that you are seeing the
The
property.
current market value. Yes, the
Exactly.
current
So
market
they're telling
value.
you, oh, is this
So I
stress?
think,
Is this stress? But this stress is not because they bought the property at 1 million and they are selling it at 900,000. No. Is that they bought the property
yeah.
1 million, and when they are selling it, the property is selling at 10 million, so they are giving you at 9 million. So have they made gain or not?
Okay. Okay, yes. They're selling at the current value market as opposed to the time. Yeah, so that they can't sell it at the distressed price of what they bought it for because it has yield equity over time. So there's
Exactly.
there's asset in the wow. Do you know what it is? I think personally for me, there have been times when I've complained about the cost of real estate in Nigeria, and you're correct. There is a demand, and demand drives up the price. But I think what buyers outside of Nigeria more, and this is a problem, we probably should not do this, is we're comparing like for like. Like you're paying almost like for like in value. Roughly how much is 7 million, or what's the average current price of a built apartment in Lagos right now? So the average, let's say around Lekki, around Ikeja, places where
So it,
people would
so
want
it
to live.
depends. It actually depends. There are apartments and there are houses. That's how we call it here. So
Yes, yes.
apartments is like, I think you guys call it
Same with
condos. Or,
us. It's the same thing. There's the Americans are calling it. So we have apartments and we have houses. The houses are,
oh,
and the apartments are usually like in a block. You're sharing with other
oh,
people,
great.
whereas
Okay.
you get a
So for
full house that could be
apartments,
detached,
yeah,
semi-detached, and
for
things like that.
apartments in Lagos, in Lekki right now, at off
Average price, yeah. Let's
at off
okay, off
plan,
plan, yeah.
a two-bedroom for an off plan property. And when I say off plan, you are not even seeing anything on the floor. Like maybe they're just building this foundation.
It's a
We are
concept.
looking at we're looking at maybe 250 million, right?
Wow.
Yes, 250 million naira.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're lucky, maybe 220, but it's around there. Then for an already finished one, we can be looking at the 300 millions or 400 even in
Okay.
Lekki.
Okay.
Then if we are talking of now
And
full
how much
houses where it's
in
detached
dollars?
at what? I didn't get you.
How much is 250 million in dollars? Just to give people, how much is that in dollars? Just to give
Oh,
people an idea.
we are going to have to calculate that because I hardly market in dollars. But let's say if one, do you have a calculator there? Because don't mind me rule.
Ah, the average, what's the dollar to the pound on the dollar to the naira on average?
I think it's 1.3 thereabouts.
Okay, let's just go for 1.3 times. That's almost $325,000. It's almost like for like. So
What?
that's the average. If my calculations are correct, that's about $3,000 to $5,000, which
Okay.
is on average,
Okay.
is a good price outside of Nigeria. In the
Oh,
UK, that can't get you a house in London. It can't get you a two-bedroom in London right now. The
oh, you
average
see that?
price of a house in central London, average, you're looking at about 450 to 500,000 pounds, which will be about actually roughly about the same in dollars actually, because the dollar is less than the pound. So, and I think so. So the issue I think people outside of Nigeria are having, we're converting the exchange rate, number one, the environment, the value for money. But I think what people need to understand, if you want to own a property in Lagos, Lagos is still, as much as it's developed, it's still developing, right? People are now starting to invest in infrastructure, in communities, and these new estates have better value. Let's talk about that, because you can't compare the current state now to a country that one is developing, redeveloping the city. Town planning is happening. You're getting more in terms of security, weather, environment. People are actually starting to invest in quality of life. And that
Yeah.
is what people need to think about. What do you want? Why do you want an apartment in Nigeria? Why do you want a house? If it's just for an investment property, you're guaranteed to make money. The population is huge. People are always coming home. Airbnb is a very populous way to make money. Let's talk about quality of life and how the real estate industry is developing right now, as opposed to comparing that to how much you'd buy a house overseas. Why can we not do the comparison? What is the main reason why people have to kind of take their mind off of that? So I think that's one of the real issues why people think, I'm paying almost the same amount. What am I getting?
I lost you for a bit though. I don't know what's going on the network.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you up until a point, but I couldn't hear you for a while. So your question, like if you can just rephrase it.
Oh, I hope it's not my network. Yes. Yeah, of course. So people are paying like for like in terms of house value prices. What are they getting in terms of number one, value for money, and also I don't want to use the word cost of living, but there was a word that I used. It's gone out of my head now. But in terms of what are people getting in terms of value uh, of the environment where they're living, having a home in Nigeria. Why should people not be comparing in terms of just the price, but more so environmental factors, so to speak, and things like that? Because people
Okay,
tend
so
to do a
if I
comparison.
understand
I'm
your
paying the same
question,
amount.
is if I understand your question, let me ask how I understand it. So you're asking that why should people not
Yes, please.
compare? Why should people not compare buying property here and buying there? Why they shouldn't compare, right? Is that the question?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
number
Yes.
one for me,
Pretty much.
I
Yes.
have I have I have a few clients in diaspora, and number one of the things that I find out that those ones that buy, one of the things is the fact that they own something back home. Number one, this is your home. Do you
Mm.
understand? Like owning, there's something about ownership.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, I understand that you can be outside the country living your best life, but there's something different when you own something in your own indigenous, like where you come from. You know, the kind of freedom you have here. It's your place, it's yours. You understand? Number one, you cannot. I realize that that's one
Yes.
thing. I
Yes.
have a client that will tell me, oh, yeah, me at least I have something for myself. I have something that is my own. You know, there's that. That is number one. And number two, for people that are smarter out there, you realize that I don't know how you would do it there, but I kind of feel that people that have bought from me always tell me how it makes them more. It makes them more money because the demand for it here is a bit higher, and then the way the price jumps, you know, the value on the
The
property because it
fluctuation.
is.
Yes.
Yes, because of the way the price comes up, and some people will say, but that's not fair. That's not fair." But what are we talking about fairness when it comes to
Jump in. Get in the game. Yeah.
exactly like stop complaining? So that for me, the second thing would be that I feel I don't stay there, so I can really not compare. But people that I've worked with have told me that they'll rather buy here, right? And because the house, or let's use the house for example, the house is still yours. So if you're
Yeah.
at the end of the day you've collected rental income, you've done all of that, the house is still your house,
Mm.
you know. And that kind of a thing, I don't know how you would do it there. Oh. All those, I don't know, this Lagos Sha, in my own opinion, is if you're buying
No, I
into
think I
real estate,
understand. Yes, I don't understand,
yeah,
and I'll support that in my philosophy as well. Is that you've got to look at the bigger picture. They're two
yeah,
different markets. Okay,
different.
um, the demand is going to make the value of the property. And it's not about you can't even compare the two things. Number one, a lot of people buy cash in Africa, like you own your home. Most people are buying cash.
Oh
Um,
yes, people buy in cash, and then you can also spread payment.
Yes, yes,
You
you can
can
spread
spread
payment, you
payment.
get the land deed, the title, and everything's official. You know, one of the and I think
I think
people
it's
should
just I think usually it's just the fear of the you know, there's something about outside the country, there's
yes,
stability. There's you are able to say, okay, if I do this, I get that. If I
yeah,
do this, yeah, but so the fear most of the time is, oh, how am I sure that the government will not come tomorrow and do this? Why? So that's usually the fear. And in all
mm,
honesty, it is valid. That fear is valid. That's why we always say before buying a property in
mm,
Nigeria or in Lagos, especially, do your due diligence. Make sure you have all the
yes,
correct documentation. I have clients that I always tell them, wait, before we buy, let's just do the search. Let's get a professional to check it and give us
yes,
feedback. You know, but once you're able to get real estate right, you've gotten it right forever
yes.
in Lagos.
And I
So,
love, yes, I love you mentioned that because a lot of people's main concern is not getting duped because in times past when there weren't a lot of systems in place, people would buy lands, other people would resell it, and more than like five people would have the title deed to the same piece of land. How is the government kind of helping, trying to ensure to minimize these kind of scams and things like, because that's a lot of concern that a lot of people outside of Nigeria have. They're looking for someone they can trust who's not going to scam them and sell the same land to 10 different people and they've all got title deeds. What is the government doing to try and mitigate this? How are they trying to help this situation?
okay, so I feel there's a lot of transparency right now.
Yeah,
Before, the way it used to be, there's somebody in between helping you to, okay, help me check this, help me check that. But right now, you can by yourself just go to lands and do your own search if you want to. You can get a lawyer involved if you want. But now, I feel
yes.
the government has added a lot more transparency hearing that.
Mm,
I saw it somewhere. I did not really researched it, but I've heard it somewhere that now all you need really is an app or a website now that you can just
yes,
put in your coordinates and then everything is coming out to you to see it.
yes,
So that transparency is also helping. Then for me
yes,
as a real estate agent, what I do is I hardly sell just a random land. So I hardly sell individual lands because those are the kind of lands that give you your money issues where somebody
exactly.
has bought before. And so when,
Get
when you
ripped
buy,
off.
most
Yeah,
times when you buy from a developer that has gone through all the stress of buying the property, getting the documentation, settling the land settlers and all of that. So when you are buying to that kind of
yeah,
property, most of the time, just a hundred, no, not 100, like 88% of the time, you are buying peace of mind because they've gone through all that stress and you don't have to go through it. You understand? So those
yes,
developers have kind of
yes,
made it a bit easy for people
yes.
to,
I
for them
love
to just,
that.
yes, yes.
So one of the things my mum's doing, which I advise her against, so we've got land in Lagos that she's had for years. So she's now building her own property. And I said to my mum, I said, I can't build or things have changed. Back in our parents' days, our grandparents' generation, everybody had their own lands and you build what you want. But now Nigeria is becoming such a hotspot, cosmopolitan city. People are becoming more sophisticated. For instance, estates. People are building in
Yes,
estates now,
like
which for me,
you can have land
better
and
security.
a JV. You can even do a JV with a developer if she wants to really build,
What's a
except maybe
JV? Explain that to us. What's a
okay,
JV?
the joint venture. So you can have land,
Okay,
maybe a mass,
okay,
yeah, and then a developer will walk up to you and tell you, I have the money to build. You have the
yes.
land. Then you will have some sort of agreement. So you can
Yes,
maybe they are building houses, for example.
they'll
So
give you
you
two of the
then
houses,
yeah, you
and
get
you
some of
can
the
lease
house.
the land to them for like 100 years or something. That's what I
Yeah.
said to my mom. Lease the land, build a few houses. None of your kids are, well, God knows tomorrow. Maybe we'll find ourselves in Nigeria. Let me not speak too soon. But she invested heavily in real estate. So we have a lot of land. And now we're trying to plan, but the joint venture route and have developers and just see as an investment property. You can't live on the whole land. You understand? So let other people live on the land, put it to use. And this is the part of the kind of investment aspect of real estate. How can people invest in real estate without actually buying to live? You mentioned something about having an investment and then putting your money in and being able to take your funds out. How does that
Okay.
work
So
for people?
there are different ways to do
Different
that.
schemes, yeah.
But the way that I've been doing for the last maybe 3 years now, that is called buy to flip. So there are different companies doing it. There's buy to flip, there is buyback, there's cashback, different companies and their different names. So how this works is
Wow.
basically you buy property still, but now when you buy the property, you have a planned, an agreed exit, which is your ROI. So they've already told you that in 6 months you make 25% interest.
Your return on
In
investment. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
in 1 year, you make 50% interest. So when you buy those properties, you get your receipt. Of course, you get your legal document that states the transaction. Oh, Esther bought 500 square meters in hybrid chestnut and who has agreed to sell it back to us, we'll buy it back from her at so interest. She's holding it for 6 months, and when you do that, at the end of your 6 months, you get your 25% interest with your capital. And you
Yeah.
can decide to say, okay, you know what? I just want to reinvest. I want to roll it over. Then you roll over again. Now, I've got this question, so I would like, because some people are like, what's the sense in that? Why am I buying to resell to the
Yeah.
company? Why is the company buying it? Okay,
It's
so
like you're loaning
basically,
them the money, basically.
thank you. That's it. That's just it. Sorry. That's
Yeah.
it. It's like a loan. They are using your money to do the business of real estate because that's their own niche. So they are buying
Yeah.
more properties. They are
Selling, they're
investing.
giving you
They
a
are
percentage.
yes. So that's how it works. So
Yes.
and you will see them having. You are seeing as you're buying, as people are doing. One of my colleagues' clients did £80,000
Wow.
for one
Nice.
year. Another one did 100. The same man did $100,000 for 1 year. So what? Imagine what that money would do for the company. They are
Yeah.
buying more properties now. They are building. They are
So on his
selling.
80,000, they gave him a 25% profit on top of his 80,000 and his 80,000 back. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So you
And
understand that?
if you put your money in the bank, your interest is only like 1.2%, 3%. How much is the bank going to give you?
Highest 4%.
Yes,
Highest.
highest. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
people are doing now. And of course, some people
Amazing.
have so much land, they don't want to buy more.
Yes.
Some people are not ready for buying to buy land. They're just at the point where they are growing their wealth, they are
They're
growing their
fun.
capital, they are trying
Yeah.
to say yes. Some people like to add like that. So it's for different people in different walks or different stages of life.
Mm,
Some people don't want to buy more property, they're not buying. But some people, they are not ready. They can't take 10 million naira now to buy land. They want that 10 million naira to at least make something for them. Some people are just building their capital and just building money. Then when it gets to a
mm,
level, they know what they want to do with it. So that's how it is. It's for different people at different walks and stages of life. That's how it
yes.
works. And it's safe because the document you get is a legal document. So it's not
Yes.
just any random bring your money and then, okay, what are
Yes.
you doing with my money? You'll see
There are
the work.
trusts. Hmm.
Yeah. So that's how it works.
There are
Yeah.
organizations that you can trust and you can partner with. And one of
Yeah.
the things that I'm working on within my real estate company is the due diligence aspect. So having contact with the land registry in Nigeria, doing checks for people in diaspora as a service to ensure. So even if you're not buying as part of a developer, part of an estate, we can offer that due diligence service across all of Africa and Nigeria. So
Of
we're
course.
kind of
Of
building
course.
those networks as we do that. And Yemisi and I are partnering, guys. If you want to buy property in Africa, Nigeria, we are the go-to.
Yes, so
I'm
we are
here to help you.
your combo to work with.
I'm telling you, sweetie, do me a favor. So, if someone is new to real estate, they want to invest. How would you advise a first-time investor? Mind this, that their first time, they're cautious and they just want to test the market. How would you, as opposed to a seasoned advisor, someone who's think, oh, I like what these ladies are saying. I think it's something I'd like to do. What should their next step be in terms of, okay, this is what I should prepare myself to do? If you don't want to own land, you don't live in Nigeria, but you think as an investment avenue, what would you say the best entry level is for someone? And let's give about two
You
or three
mean
scenarios.
do you mean the amount
Not
that
the
I
amount,
recommend?
the approach. How would
Okay,
you
so
advise someone to
so
start?
first
Yeah,
of all, for
and
me,
where?
what I always advise is first of all, know your why. Know
Mm,
why you're buying the prop, why you want to invest. Are you investing because you want long term, like you want to leave it for long term? Are you
mm,
investing because you just want to own something for yourself and just like Like, there are different reasons. Like somebody will say, I just want to make money. I don't care about. I just want to make money. If it's somebody like that, I just tell you, then do buy to flip, because what you
Mm.
really want is to multiply your money.
Multiply your cash flow. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I consulted with somebody some days ago. She came to me. She saw a property I put up. It was selling at 5 million in Mowe of Father. Then she came to me. We got talking. She said, "What do I advise?" I gave her I won't choose for you, but I will tell you the two different. Okay, this is what this is like. If you don't need it, if this property now, if you are buying it, know that you are going to take about 10 to 15 years to make any relevant decision or relevant return on it.
Because
But
of the
if you are doing
location.
what if that one is in Mowe or Father, that
Where's
property.
that?
Mowe is in Ogun State. But people are
Okay,
actually targeting boundary properties now, because
okay.
Ogun State and Lagos, there's just you just at the boundary, you just move. People are just going
Mm.
in and out. You don't even know you're in
Okay,
Lagos or you're in Ogun State, because
okay.
yes, so
And
that
they're
right now,
building
as
along
I'm
the borders now.
yes, that's where people are going now, because Lagos is actually very expensive.
Okay,
I won't
okay.
even lie. People are, Ibejuleki that people were complaining about years ago that we were marketing at, because I started real estate, like I said, 8 years ago. At
Yeah,
that time, we're selling properties in all those Ibejuleki axis for as low as 600K. As I
yes,
speak to you now, the cheapest you will get in that area is 30 million naira.
yes, yes. It's
Just 8 years.
ridiculous. The
About 30.
new Co-Atlantic is starting at $1 million.
You understand what I'm saying? So I had to advise her. I said, see, if what you are looking for is pay this money now and telling me in another 5 years, I want to flip that land, I won't flip it for you. Because at the
Mm,
point you want to flip it, the property may not have been gotten mature enough for you to want to sell it. But
mm.
if what you want is quick exit, 1 year, 18 months, I can tell you, okay,
Yeah,
buy to flip. But if you are buying this property, just know that you're going to stay for like 15, 20 years before. And when she decided that, okay, I want to buy the land. That was her
okay.
decision to make.
Yes,
But what I just did was explain the difference to her. Why do
yes.
you want to buy the
Advise her.
property? That's the first question I usually ask.
Mm,
Why? That why is very important. Because the truth is, if you want to buy a property and flip it in a short time, like, and you want to buy an actual property that you are selling by yourself, maybe you are reselling, you need to buy that property in a place that the demand is really high and people are ready to
mm,
buy. Do you understand? If
mm.
you see a land selling at
Yeah,
5 million naira now and you are rushing to buy it because you want to sell it in 5 years, if you go there, how's the development of the area? Those areas are not even developed enough.
yeah.
So the entry
I want to
point where
read
you want
something from Proverbs chapter 31.
okay, go ahead,
Okay,
go ahead.
continue, darling. Let me let you finish. The
Okay,
entry point.
I was going
No,
to
no,
say
go
that
on. Let me let you finish.
I was going to say that if you want to buy a property that you can flip fast and make more money, then be ready to have more money for that. So look at the Lekkies, look at the
Mm,
VIs, look at the Chevrons, the places people are already living. If you like, you can buy a property there at 100 million and resell it at 150 million, because the demand for people that want to live there right now
I
is
see
high.
what you mean. Yeah. So there's a demand in those areas. So the price just continues to fluctuate. So is it
Exactly.
that, let me ask a question. Are people rebuilding on old estates, on old land, or are we finding new developments, or it's a combination of both? Because
It's
I
a
was in
combination
Nigeria,
of both.
yes, all the old,
It's
so
a
before people used to build these big mansions and they were all empty. A lot of the
Yeah,
mansions are empty. People are
yeah.
not living. So the people are no longer interested in 7 they're not sustainable for this generation. Nobody's having
Yes,
12 children
no.
again. They need a house
People are not
with
building
7
mansions like
people.
that anymore. People are not building all
Yeah.
those. You can see big houses, yes, but people are not building, except those ones that built and is for their family. Whenever they are
Yes, it's
around and
inheritance.
all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I
You are
understand
going
that.
to read something in Proverbs.
Yes, I was going to read Proverbs chapter 31. verse 16. And it says, she considers a field and buys it. From her earnings, she plants a vineyard. And I say to people, when we're always looking at the Proverbs 31 woman, she's this, people don't look at her investment strategy. She's an investor of land. The field there is a field land. She
Of
buys the
course.
land from her earnings. Oh, she doesn't chop it. She doesn't go and spend it. She considers the fields and value. That means that field yielded an earning and an income. It says from her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So she still continues to invest the earnings from the land. So even God Himself is telling ladies, if you want to make money, if you really want to live up to the standard of the Proverbs 31 woman, she's involved in clothes, she's a tailor, she buys fabrics from all over the world, she sells it.
I'm telling you, that
She
woman
she
needs to be
she
studied.
I'm telling you, she buys that. So all this soft life, you're living at home, waiting for a man to sponsor your life. I keep telling ladies, listen, it's not about waiting for someone to sponsor your life. You have the wisdom. 2026, we have a lot more opportunity. The amount of money that we have, rather than spending it on parties, ashrabi, all these clothes. If my mom and all her friends gathered all their ashrabi for the last 2 years, you know how much land they can buy? I'm telling you.
At least your mom is even old. Like, I don't mean
Ah,
old, but she's in the time in her
I
life
know what you
where,
mean, but she's older. Yeah,
yeah, she's in the time in her life where
yeah.
she wants to enjoy everything she
She's paid her
has.
dues. Yes, she's paid her dues.
So you see,
Yes,
what,
yes,
what I
indeed,
started doing
indeed.
recently to me is what I started even advising my friends is any money you make, maybe you make a certain amount, maybe 10 million naira. Before using that 10 million naira to do anything, invest it and you can spend only from the return of that money. And it makes a lot.
Mm,
Imagine that you make 10 million naira and you say, okay, this 10 million naira now, it's my money, yes. But then you put it in like buy to flip, for example. That 10 million naira will give you 2.5 million naira in six
wow.
months. That 2.5 million naira, you can take that money and do something else. But you know that that 10 million
Mm,
yielded that money.
has made you money. Yes. People need to
Exactly.
start having an investment mindset. Yes, yes.
Yeah, like you can pay your rent with that. Imagine you have 10 million and you say, I want to put this 10 million naira in buy to flip for 1 year. In 1 year, you would have gotten 5 million naira from your 10 million naira. That money can pay your rent. You see that that
Mm,
money is working harder than even you. But as
yes.
against just getting that 10 million and now all of a sudden you want to buy your hair, you want to change your wardrobe, I'm
Yeah.
not saying those things are not important, but now I advise
Make
women,
money to sponsor your
yeah,
lifestyle,
like every
basically. Yeah.
money you make, any money you make, try and make that money make more money for you. And that's the way people, so,
Mm,
for example, last year I did 2 million naira in buy back. At that time it was
mm-hmm,
85% interest. The money will be due in
mm.
September. That
Wow.
money. Yeah, I'm getting 85.
85% interest.
Yes. No, but now it's not 85% anymore. Now it's 7. Now if you are
Of
doing
course.
18
You
months
never told me
already.
about the 85% interest one, no.
So right now, what the highest you can get
Hey.
for 18 months is 75%. So you see that's 2 million naira I did that year. By September,
Mm-hmm.
it will be giving me 3.4 million naira, meaning I've
Of
made
course.
1.4 million on it. Now,
Yeah,
guess
of
what I'm going to
course.
do? That 3.4 million, both the
Reinvest it.
capital and the interest, I'm reinvesting it. And because I'm
Yes.
not taking it out, they are going to leave the interest for me at 85% interest because I'm
Wow.
not removing it. So what that
Yes.
means is in another 1.5 years, that money would have grown to 6 point something million. What did I do? Just by investing 2 million.
Yes.
So now let's imagine that what I invested was 50 million naira.
Mm.
Like I have a guy that did 50 million naira, and he will be
At the
getting
85% interest.
yes, and he's going to be getting 24. He's getting
Mm.
24.5 or 25.4 million in September. And he's telling me, Auntie Emmy, I'm just going to take my interest, but I want to
Yes,
roll over.
yes. Smart
Imagine that
guy.
he's making 20 something million naira in interest.
You're not going to get that anywhere else in the world. You're not going to get that
No, no,
outside.
no,
You're
no,
not
no,
going to get that
nowhere,
anywhere.
nowhere, nowhere.
Yeah. The
Except it's a
Nigerian real
booming.
estate market is very unique. And I personally think it's a reflection of the Nigerian people. And I say it like this, there's something about us that it's not even just excellence. We do things big. Everything about Nigeria has to be hot, sharp, big. We like making money.
Of
Nigerians, we're
course.
not nonsense. We
Yeah,
like big numbers. So no one's going to mess around with you and be offering you 2%, 4% less.
exactly.
We like big numbers. We want to know, let the money make sense. Do you understand? Let me know. And I think what people
Exactly.
just need is to be guided on investing with the right people, right?
Yes,
Being
yeah,
guided on knowing people like yourselves, people like me, know the right people to lead you to where these investments, these
yeah.
buybacks, flip back deals are taking place. Otherwise, if some charlatan comes and tells someone you don't know from Adam, they're not structured, they're not showing their face. You can't contact the person. There's no viable
Exactly.
place to, you know. And obviously,
Yeah.
every investment is subject to risk. For instance, COVID.
Of
I'm sure that
course.
a lot of developments was paused during that time. A lot of things extended. So no one's saying anything is always 100% risk free,
Yeah.
but for the majority, as far as everything is in order, the government backs it, it's legal, it's viable, you have paperwork, there's documentation, you're more than likely to get your money back and the investment will work. You've got testimonies of people that have done it. This how much I invested, this how much I made back. So there's a track record of it working. Okay, there's a track record of it working.
And
So
the
I'm
good
very
thing
sure.
also with buy to flip is if, for example, you are doing 1 year, you say, okay, I want to do this. I have 50 million. I want to hold it for 1 year. You can request for half of your ROI in 6 months.
Okay, yeah.
So if 10 million, if 50, let's just 10 million, if 10 million will give you 5 million naira in interest, you can collect your 2.5 million naira half the month, half the year.
Okay,
And at
yeah.
the end of the year, you collect your balance.
Yes, so they're basically using the money to make money to do their business, and then they're giving you from the profits that they're
Exactly.
making. I mean, they're pretty much guaranteeing because the Nigerian real estate market, especially within key locations, within Lagos, within Lekki, they're having to build all the way down towards Ekpe because the demand is too much. The
Yes. So
demand is a lot.
you
So the
come and
Lekki
see the
Peninsula area,
bungalows. See the bungalows we built that we sold in um Eleko area, even
hmm,
Eleko, that's further down. You'll be shocked at the amount of people that bought. Do you know the phase one sold out in 18 days?
wow,
The phase one, and it was over 100 units. The phase two, they they've closed sale. Now they are reopening sale. And why people are
wow,
buying this property is because they know that the future of that place is bright.
yes,
The airport's coming
yes,
to that
the airport's
area.
coming, yes,
The
yes,
coastal road has now made everything shorter because now the coastal road has made. That
yes,
From the Victoria Island to like my Shongotedo where I stay, from
yeah.
VI to Shongotedo is less than 30 minutes if you are driving on 80 kilometers per hour.
Mm.
Less, so many things are beginning to
So
make
yeah, and I've
that
seen the
that
coastal. I
whole
was on the coastal road during my last trip.
yeah.
Yeah,
So those kinds of
Nigeria is
and
changing. Lagos is changing heavily. Yeah,
it's changing. It's changing. All the way from
it is
VI to
changing.
Eleko,
Yeah,
you can drive maybe 1 hour to Eleko from VI. Are you
yeah.
kidding me? That can never have happened. When we started doing real estate, this same place I mentioned, when we are going on inspection, we know that that's the whole day. Because once we start the journey, by the time
Traffic.
if you
Yeah,
leave by 8, By the time you're coming back, you are coming back around 5.
My
But now you
God.
can go there and come back in 4 hours. You're gone. You've gone.
Yes.
You know what am I saying? 4 hours. Except maybe you got there and you had to do some other stuff. But if
Yeah.
all you did was drive there and back,
Lagos is big. Nigeria is huge. It's a big city. It's
eh,
huge. It's in demand. What about Abuja? Because when I was man, the prices of those
oh
houses in
yes,
Abuja is
yes.
mad.
Abuja too is very good.
Yes.
Abuja too is good. Abuja is
Abuja
also
for
very
me, when
what?
I was in Abuja, for me, in terms of the calmness of Abuja, I feel like I'm an Abuja kind of girl. Because Lagos is, you got to be hot-headed to live in Lagos. Like,
I'm
I don't
telling you,
know
I
how
have to
hot.
see. Lagos is sharp, 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 sharp. Lagos
Lagos
is
is no
sharp.
nonsense. Obviously, but my family is primarily in Lagos and things like that, so I can't get away from it. So, what about the landscape? Because Abuja is actually a little bit more expensive in some areas as
What?
well. Being the I said Abuja can be more expensive
Yeah.
being the federal capital. But what would you advise in terms of I just want to be in Nigeria? I want to have land in my country. Outside of Lagos and Abuja, what other places are hotspots for
Okay,
property
so
outside the main two cities?
we have Ogun State.
Hmm.
We have Ibadan. Ibadan is also doing very well now.
Mm,
Yes, Ogun State and Ibadan. That's where people are going. So people that cannot
okay.
afford Lagos, they are going to Ogun State and they are going to Ibadan. And of course, you understand why. Any development that flows into Lagos will definitely flow into these
Quite
places.
quickly, yeah. It's about an hour.
Yeah.
How far is Ibadan to Lagos now?
Maybe 3 hours
Okay, okay, it's
or
3 hours.
even less.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 hours. And we have people working in all this Ogun State, Abeokuta, and they are working in Lagos and they stay in Abeokuta.
Yes.
We
And
have
then they
train
travel out.
thing too. There's this train
Yes.
stuff. Also, things transportation is getting easier, so it's
It's getting
also
better.
helping
Yeah.
every yes, yes. So but what I
It
know
is
is
getting
if you
better.
want to
And
buy
I
a
can see
property,
that people are
you
starting
cannot
to.
afford Lagos. If you cannot afford Lagos, just go to Ogun State and go to Ibadan. Those places are places that people can buy property and still be rest assured that it will develop and give them good.
And I think
ar-
w- one last thing we can also encourage people with buy with a friend or friends, right?
Thank
Does
you.
Nigeria allow for companies to
Yeah.
own? So can you have an umbrella company to buy? What's the law in terms of how people can buy under a company name, under a holding name?
Yes.
Does that affect
People
anything?
do that. People do that. Even with these investments I spoke about, people do that too. You can just bring money together, then acquire a property, and everybody's name will be listed in that property. So they're not going to
Does
list just
everybody get
one
a
person,
copy of the deed?
except you are buying as a company. And of course, as a
Okay.
company, people will have your sharing stuff between each other. But if it's as individuals, they'll have everybody's name written out there. So you know that okay, it's a number of people that have this particular
Mm,
property. I was even looking at doing like a some sort of cooperative. It's something I'm thinking about
nice.
where people in diaspora especially we can
Yeah.
all just come together and you know how monthly you'll
Like
be
an
paying.
investment group. Yeah, I'm part of one at
Yes.
the moment actually. Yeah, I've just joined an investment
Oh,
group, and what it is that they bring up new investments, and whoever wants to invest within the group will contact the lead person. Say, okay, I'm interested in this investment. Okay, maybe 20 people from the group want to invest. We go through the numbers, how much each person has to pay.
I actually planned that when I'm ready or when I want to really put it into this, I'll reach out to you because
Yeah, I'm involved. I'm ready.
I thought about it that we can get people from diaspora. We'll just have something we are doing like some
I
sort
love
of
that.
contribution every month. We're just putting in money somewhere, putting in money. Then at the end of the month or at the end of the year,
End of the
we'll
year.
agree, okay, this is what we have. Where should we put this money? Then we'll
Yes.
all agree, put the money there. Then when the
Yeah.
interest comes out, everybody shares.
I'm excited. I love that.
So it was something I thought about, but
I think it's a
I'm
good
doing
idea.
other stuff now, so I
Yeah.
haven't really come down to. But it's great. It's going to be think cooperatives is legal. Like it's something we can
Yeah, yeah,
register, and yes. So
yeah.
maybe it's
And
something we can talk about later.
we will, and I bet, but it's definitely something we need to do for the women, because I think what's very important, a lot of women get scared about investment. They're really scared. They're not really sure where to start, what to do. But you have women that are going to hold your hand and walk you through. And more importantly, they know the right places to go to. Don't wait for some cowboy person to call you and scam you. You got to be
Yeah,
really, really careful, because there are a lot of scammers out there. But that doesn't
a
mean you
lot.
shouldn't take, yeah, the opportunity to be part of a unit that can protect you, provide you with the right information so that you can continue investment. You know, so you've been such a blessing, like I knew you would. What last words or thoughts do you have for people before we wrap up, and then, and how we can contact you, and then really get people to really think about being serious about their real estate investment outside of the US, the UK, Canada, and really start finding a realtor they know they can trust and help them build their wealth outside of their homeland.
Okay, so the first thing I would like to say is not a quote really, but it's just something, a food of thought. Just know that right now, all the strength you have and you're putting into work, there will be a time in your life that you cannot go through that stress anymore. And at that time of your life, you will not be able to take some kind of risks anymore.
Mm,
So this is the best time to take risks, to um, do all this work you're doing, because there'll be a time where you will not be able to do it anymore. So right now, ask yourself, have you gathered enough, at
mm,
least where you are now, to be able to help you at that time when you cannot do so much more? So that is one thing I really want you to go home to think about and really, really brood about it, because the day I
well
asked
done.
myself that question, it reset my head. I'm like, no, all the energy I've put in so many years, there'll be a time we can't go for inspections like this. We can't do so much. What am I
Yeah,
doing
with
preparing
your
towards
energy
that?
now.
Yes,
Yes.
towards that time. And of course, if you want to reach me, you can reach Esther. Esther, we are if you reach Esther, you reached me.
We're together.
Exactly. So if you reach Esther, you
We'll
can
make it
definitely
work for them.
reach.
Yemisi, thank you so much. I'll still put your details on there in case I'm going to reach you directly. You're just a wealth full of knowledge and things like that.
Thank you so
And
much.
just
And
honestly,
Esther,
I'm so
before
grateful.
before you round up, I want to say honestly that I'm so proud of you. I see what
Oh,
you do. I see the impact. You've really impacted a lot of people, and even some of us subtly. We
mm,
just watch and we're like, "Wow, Esther has been so well." I want to say, well done, and I believe that there is much more to come, and I believe that you are in your much more season, and I believe that
amen.
with your impact and all you've done, you are going to reap a lot more in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
Jesus.
Thank you so much for those
You're
beautiful
welcome.
words. Let me put you in the green room as we close up tonight's Wise Women podcast. Guys, I didn't even want to stop, because the only reason I'm stopping because of time. But listen, we may come back for a part two. For those of you that contact us, I'm very passionate about people getting to financial freedom. God spoke to me last year about how this AI thing is going to impact people. Guys, if you're in anything that has to do with data, analytics, numbers, just know your job will be impacted. You need to find creative ways of making money. And real estate, don't be afraid to invest outside of the UK. Reskill, replan, restructure your whole idea of what it means to make money. You don't always have to sell your time, because when you're working for someone, you're basically selling your time and your skills. There are ways to reshape and remake money, and I'll invite you involved on masterclasses. I will put some things together to really start helping people make money and really leverage this season. So thank you for watching today's Wise Women podcast. I'll be back next week with a different guest, and we're still focused on the theme of purpose. I'll see you then. God bless you.